What's up, y'all? And of course, welcome to another alternative factuals video. And forgive me, this video is going to be super late. I'm always saying forgive me in every video. I feel like I'm always doing something. Like I said, there's just a lot going on. I'm not going to keep repeating myself every single video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check out another video and you'll kind of get on board and figure out what's going on with that. But I wanted to do something pretty fun, actually. I wanted to talk about Jennifer Pierce. Now, obviously, I already know Jennifer Pierce is way too powerful. And, you know, I've explained this multiple times, so there's no point in me reiterating something when I've already made that point on several videos. But besides that, let me kind of just, I guess, get to the point of the video, or kind of get to the gist of what I want to do. So this is going to be a fun video. I want to talk about basically Jennifer's powers and how she might actually interact with a character name, or the character basically as we know as the Flash, Barry Allen, you know, the one who's on the same CW universe as officially of the Crisis on Infinite Earths event. And basically I want to see, like, you know, basically why Jennifer is way too powerful, but also in general it would be kind of cool if this really does happen when it comes to the TV show. But before I dive into any details or any of my theories or anything, you know, that could potentially end up being a fact when it comes to her abilities and powers, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're feeling. And without further ado, let's jump into this. Okay, so what we saw in Black Lightning when it came to Crisis on Infinite Earths is basically Jennifer's body is basically pure energy. Her metagene, her abilities allow her not only to kind of absorb and manifest energy, but she herself can become energy. Like I said, they gave her the powers of, you know, basically everything Black Lightning can do. And we basically got confirmation in season 3 episode 10 when basically she turned into her energy form and bullets just passed right through her. So at that point her body literally is just energy. She is living energy at this point. And it's not like she only can absorb electricity, but basically she can absorb a wide array of power, because even in the comic books her powers were very similar to Black Lightning's, extremely similar if not identical. So basically she was not necessarily as, you know, I wouldn't say not necessarily as powerful. In terms of raw power, she was definitely as powerful, but her powers were a lot more unstable in nature. So Black Lightning had all the power but had all the control as well. So that's what made their powers and their abilities a little different, just the control factor about it. But that never really was super explored, because, you know, she was always relatively young when it came to the comics, so I'm not going to get super deep into that. But overall her body is energy. She is pure energy, and we have confirmation she herself is energy. Now, we've seen her absorb UV radiation. We've seen her do that. We've seen her absorb regular electricity. You know, we've seen her, you know, able to absorb just various different types of energies. Even if they didn't directly tell us that, you know, these were different types of energies, or, you know, maybe very exotic forms of energies. But one thing we did get confirmation about during the Crisis event, or the episode before the Crisis event, when it came to Jennifer and this whole antimatter wave, is that instead of her body being completely erased, she was in like this limbo state. Because remember, energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed or moved from one place to another. So remember, energy cannot be destroyed. She herself is energy, meaning even when the antimatter wave came across and came to be, you know, in their universe, ultimately what happened was she did not die. She did not cease to exist. Her body just transformed her into energy, which allowed her to survive in the limbo area. Now, if she can definitely survive in a situation like that, or interact with energies like antimatter, and of course obviously she can interact with other things like regular matter, because even though her powers allow her to turn into energy, she herself derives from regular matter. It would definitely beg to, you know, say that she can definitely either interact with the Speed Force, or, you know, the Speed Force energy, or she might be able to tap into that energy if she was exposed to it. Now, here is my logic behind it. Now, like I said, because we're able to see that she's able to interact with in some way, shape, or form with antimatter energy, she was able to go into this energy-like state, which allowed her to survive and basically be the only one of her universe to live due to the nature of her powers. Cool, dandy. She can absorb many different types of energy, including UV rays and other energies that we haven't even seen yet. And this is me kind of doing my own little headcanon based on the comics as well as what her powers are capable of. So naturally you would assume that the Speed Force energy is filled with dark matter energy. The Speed Force, well, according to the TV show, I'm not doing this based on the comics. We're doing this strictly on TV shows, so that way there's no confusion. I don't want people to be like, hey, in the comics this is, you know, this is what she's able to do, or in the comics this is what the Flash is able to do. I don't really care. I'm talking about the TV shows. I'm well aware of the comics and all that stuff. It's a little different from the TV shows, so bear with me. I'm trying to do this basically based on the TV shows. But basically, she should be able to siphon energy from the Speed Force if she was exposed to the type of of energy. Now, remember, Barry Allen literally generates the Speed Force every time he runs. So does any speedster in the CW universe, you know, Jay Garrick, Jesse Quick, Wally West. All these speedsters, they generate the Speed Force when they run. And let's say, for example, Black Lightning's daughter interacts with the Flash team, which is way more than likely now since they exist in the same Earth now. Basically throwing lightning and allowing, you know, her to not only absorb it, but once she begins to adjust and kind of figure out what kind of energy this is, eventually she not only will be able to, I wouldn't say turn into it, but not only will she be able to like kind of absorb and get really comfortable with the energy, but she'll be able to use that energy and basically tap into it temporarily at least. And remember, she can absorb ambient energy much like her father. Remember, she has all the powers of Black Lightning, and then including the powers that she has stacked on top of that. And Black Lightning, even himself, he can absorb ambient energy. I even feel like Black Lightning to some degree could tap into the Speed Force if he truly absolutely needed to, if it really came down to it, just due to the nature of his powers as well. Now in the TV show, he is not pure energy, meaning, you know, he's obviously a weaker version of his daughter. However, I think he can absorb some of that Speed Force energy, probably not as much as Jennifer, obviously, because she is a powerhouse in the TV show. But ultimately, I do think he can tap into the Speed Force by, you know, absorbing some of that energy, probably momentarily gaining super speed and, you know, probably enhancing his powers, his healing. You know, he probably can do a lot of things. So the Flash and Black Lightning can actually do a really good tag team if they really wanted to. Just, you know, the Flash feeding Jefferson energy or just a different type of energy, and the next thing you know, he can kind of run fast too. His healing is accelerated, his thinking is accelerated, everything about him is accelerated, plus he already has lightning or energy based capabilities. And then you can imagine what Jennifer can do with that amount of power, especially because she already herself can power a city, you know, just casually on a regular day with only about half of her power. And she's able to absorb various different things on the electromagnetic spectrum, including, you know, light energy, gamma radiation, all that stuff. You know, she's able to do all that. Now imagine Jennifer tapping into the Speed Force because she's absorbing the ambient energy from like Barry Allen or Eobard Thawne or Wally West or Jesse Quick or Jay Garrick, or, you know, basically all these characters that exist in the Arrowverse that have Speed Force based powers. And basically, you know, she's going to be able to tap into that. And I think in most cases in the TV show, I think in all cases maybe they probably won't explore that avenue just due to the nature of that's just too OP. She's more than capable, but that's just too OP for a character like that. Her tapping into the Speed Force with her powers already is too much. At that point, just make her Jesus Christ. But ultimately, I think that's something that really could happen based on the information we have about these characters so far. I don't want anyone to feel like, hey, I'm passing this off as a fact. I don't know if they will ever do this, but I do know this is an absolute fact. If Jennifer was to ever come over, you know, and go to the Flash universe, she is more than capable. Will they decide to take that route and allow her to do that? Maybe not, but she is more than capable of absorbing, you know, Speed Force energy and negative Speed Force energy, which would allow her to further augment her powers, which would put her on a whole nother level of power, because she'll be tapping into power from an alternate dimension, which is something she hasn't done as of yet. But like I said, I still think she's very much capable. But let me know what you think about this video. Like I said, this is a lot more of a theory, kind of fun headcanon kind of situation going on with this one. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Jennifer is capable of absorbing Speed Force energy and negative Speed Force energy? Let me know what you think about that. Let me know any other characters you want me to kind of do this with. Like I said, I'll try and, you know, see how y'all feel about it, then I'll do it more often, and then maybe I'll do it on Black Lightning, or maybe I'll do it on Who's Smarter between Cisco and Lynn, or something like that, based on information we know from these characters, and between Anissa and, you know, like Vibe or something. I don't know. Like I said, I can do any other character, compare them and see what kind of tag team situations will work best for them based on these TV shows and information we know about them. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, please be sure like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below, and I'll talk to you later, baby. Ooh, peace.